Good afternoon, I should say. Tuesday's lesson. Right, we're finished with our coral reefs yesterday. I know there was a lot of information in the coral reefs lesson, okay? And some homework. So, nice easy lesson today about just an introduction to coasts and coastlands in general, okay? So this is the last bit of Bahamian landscapes, but it's going to be the longest part. Okay, it'll probably take us about 4 lessons to get through all of this information. So today we're just going to talk about coasts in general. Okay, so the various coastal processes which affect our coastlines, all right? And then on Thursday next week we'll start looking specifically at landforms and Bahamian ones. Okay, so remember, just like rocklands, ridgelands, and wetlands, all right, we're looking at what it is. So what is a coastland? And then we're going to look at the features of the landforms created throughout. Okay, so coasts actually have a huge array of landforms shown by these photos. So first thing is a little definition. What is the coast? This is the area where the land meets the sea. Okay, it has many different shapes and features. The thing about the coast is it has loads of different features. Okay, here we've got our beach. Okay, we've got our headland. This is called a sea arch. Again, here we can see these are the white cliffs of Dover in England. We got another little beach. This piece out here is called a stack. It used to be connected to the land. Okay, you can see this example just off of Portugal. Okay, lots of stacks left out here. Then we've got this example here, which is called a bay, okay, or a cove, and these are headlands. So there's lots of different features and landforms. Not all of them occur in the Bahamas. Okay, we have some, we don't have others. But what we're going to look at today is how are all of these features formed. Okay, a good word to use with the coast, maybe if you want to put it in brackets here, is dynamic. All right, coasts are incredibly dynamic. They're constantly changing, and that's what we're going to look at first. All right, so at the coast there's 3 coastal processes. Okay, now a process is something that happens over time and causes change. All right, so there's 3 major processes. The first one, we've all seen this word before, is erosion. Okay, so erosion, firstly the land is broken up by wind and water processes. Okay, so the land is exposed to winds. Okay, the wind tends to be stronger and more constant by the ocean as well, because there's nothing blocking it. It's got this wide open expanse that it can blow across. So coastlands are affected heavily by the wind. Obviously the ocean is involved. The ocean is one of the most powerful things in the world. So every single day our coastlines are being battered by wind and very strong water. So this results in broken up coastal materials. So now it breaks up all the rocks and the coastland, whatever else, and you have this broken material. The second step is transportation. So this broken material is then moved by the waves to another location. Very simple. We all know what transportation is. This is done through a process called longshore drift. Now we will look at this probably maybe Thursday, we'll see. Alright, so all that broken material is washed out into the sea and then is moved somewhere else. Okay, the vast majority of it is moved to a new location. So the land has been broken up, it's been moved. The last thing that needs to happen is deposition. The broken material is finally dropped in a new location and forms new, that should be new landforms. I don't know why the word head is there. Is dropped in a new location and forms new landforms or coastal features. All right, so it breaks up the land, the material is transported and is dropped somewhere else to form new features. Okay, and that's why there's so many different features found along our coast, because we've got constant erosion and deposition. So what I want to do is pause that and just make a little note of this diagram. Okay, so add that to your notes, please. So moving on, this in particular can have huge devastation on human life, okay, and on our coastlines. Okay, so again, you can see this is called undercutting here. We'll come back to that phrase lots in the next couple of lessons. So the land is essentially scooped out by the sea, especially during storms or high tides. All right, and you can see here a bit of a blurry picture, but these cliffs are left behind and you can see all of the collapsed material. of different sizes. Over time, the waves will come in and take all of this away, and then they'll break off some more cliff and take it away. Obviously, you can see the houses and the homes built up here. What about those, I hear you ask? Well, it's not uncommon for terrible situations like this to occur, where you've got soft geology or soft rock, okay, facing the ocean doesn't hesitate in destroying it. There's a lot of people in the UK in particular who built their homes very close to this beautiful coast on the eastern coastline. It turns out it was made of a very soft mud, which has been destroyed rapidly, okay, very, very quickly. Now a lot of people are losing their homes, and they also can't get house insurance because the insurer will not cover them. So when this happens, they're broke, okay? So these processes, while sounding simple, actually have massive, massive implications for people as well, all right? And governments spend billions of dollars every year trying to stop this, control this, and control this. So we look at that as our last lesson, okay, coastal management. Right, want to move on very quickly. What we're going to start with then is our constructive and destructive waves. This can be a little subheading in your notes, please. Okay, constructive versus destructive waves. Now, I'm sure any of you who've been to the beach in any of the beaches around Nassau, some days you go down, it's nice and calm, so we probably have some constructive waves. Some days you go down and we have these huge destructive waves. Now, I know for a fact out on Cabbage Beach, all right, it used to be nice and calm, and ever since Dorian, something has happened. I'll explain in a bit, and the waves there are way, way higher and stronger than they were before. All right, so very simple. Going to show you a little table. I'll walk through these very quickly, okay? The waves are one thing that influence the coast massively, okay? Constructive waves, shockingly enough, lead to more deposition, and they build up the beaches by depositing material, okay? Destructive waves are the opposite. They destroy beaches, they cause high levels of erosion, and they take material away. All right, so constructive. The good thing is you really only need to know one of these because the other one is just the opposite. So constructive have long, shallow waves, okay, whereas the destructive have steep waves, very tall and short. They come very quickly and they're very high. So if you've ever been out in really wavy water, you'll notice just as one wave hits you and you kind of recover, another one's about to smack you. So constructive is what we call a strong swash, whereas destructive are a weak swash. Constructive is a weak backwash, whereas destructive is a strong backwash. We will look at those words, swash and backwash, in just a moment. All right. So again, what I think happened at Cabbage Beach was destructive waves occur better where the water is slightly deeper. You can see that in the diagram. And after Dorian, the profile, this surface of the beach, which goes from land underwater, actually became very deep. There was a lot of erosion occurred during the storm, and that led to destructive waves for a long time afterwards. All we're going to do for now is I want you to make a little table, okay, and add in these little comparisons. I'm going to take you through what swash and backwash is in just a moment. So again, constructive, long wavelengths, okay, and shallow I should put in there, short and high for destructive. So short wavelength means that they come rapidly, okay? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whereas the constructive ones are more 1, 2, 3, are more drawn out, okay? And they're not as steep. Then very simple, strong wash versus strong swash, weak swash. Weak backwash, strong backwash. All right, and then the last bit helps to build up. So the constructive are depositional, whereas destructive are erosional. All right, so make a little note of that. Last thing is we're going to skip to page 300 of New Wider World, okay, and just very quickly, just one page, have a highlighter and a pen ready, and we'll get that done.